The security situation in the country has warranted a different and a more robust approach to securing lives and property, and whether the police, the military or other security agencies rise up to the occasion or not, there's always been a local approach to security where they handle from petty thieves to even more serious violent crimes. On this series of the program, we are visiting different communities across Nigeria's geopolitical zones to understand and dissect community-based approach to security. Welcome to Community Report. I am Dare Ido. The federal government holds the control over the issues of arms and ammunition, as well as the deployment of such for use by all arms-bearing security agencies, such as the Nigerian Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Nigeria Police Force. The police are set for them to attain the United Nations ratio requirement of 1 police officer to 400 citizens of a country. The police force need to recruit more to secure approximately 182 million Nigerians. But as researchers at the University of Wales put it, Nigerian society is over-policed and under-secured. The continued rise in insecurity is why many communities are left with no choice than seeking an alternative to securing lives and property. And that's where vigilante groups come in. These groups are security outfits, mostly occupied by the youths of the community. The idea is born out of the communal consensus for self-defense and the push to fight crime. Vigilante groups are largely informal and composed of volunteers, funded through communal contributions. The control of these arrangements are domiciled with the traditional institutions or community leaders. Rural communities have for years depended on this self-help solution. Meanwhile, because local communities in urban settings also face a level of security challenge, they've also keyed into the system. In Lagos, there are several security arrangements, some are state-sponsored. Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps, a community-based uniform security agency established by a law of the Lagos State House of Assembly in 2016 to assist the police and other security agencies to maintain law and order in the state. Their responsibilities are, but not limited to, gathering information about crimes, suspicious activities, undertaking routine motorized patrol day and night, contributing to maintaining community peace. Even with these arrangements, the complexity and uniqueness of some communities have led to the establishment of tailor-made outfits to fight crime. Isheri, a boundary community between Lagos and Ogun State along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, has its peculiar challenges. We visited the Palace of the King in Isheri Olofin, who speaks about their own security arrangements.
The Isheri was dispersal points for other warri towns in Lagos and some parts of Ogun. So we have had this ancient ways of communicating within ourselves. We have the chiefs and we have the Ologbonis. So the Ologbonis are actually the people who enforce our laws within the town, as laid down since the 1400s when Insecurity was founded. So we have this specific way of dealing with problems in our town. So we gather information through our people. Once anything happens, the first point of call is to go to the Akpeno. The Akpeno then brings the matter to me. Then we'll call all the old chiefs and we'll decide on which way to go. And if it's an information that we need to forward to the security agencies, we do that as soon as possible so as to foresaw challenges. Because if you look at our own specific area, we have the largest cattle market in the southwest here. So, and that is to tell you that we have a whole lot of people from the northern part of Nigeria and people that speak different languages, and it's a very big commercial business. So we have to be on our toes. We have to try and stem whatever is happening between the Yorubas and the Hausas, any type of issue brewing up. We are able to nip it in the bud before it escalates into something else. I assumed the role of the Olofin of Isheri September last year, and since I became the king, we've had a very cordial relationship with the security agencies within and around this place. We make use of the police very well, and we have a good rapport with the civil defense. The sector commander around here is always very active, and he has been they've been able to curtail so many things before it escalates. But I think they can always do more. They can always do more with the right amount of support from the government. I think they still lack some basic amenities which is supposed to help and aid their activities. They still struggle with logistics, and I'm sure the government of the day is trying anyway, but we can still do more to assist these people in carrying out their duties.
The traditional ruler, who also had a military background, says his past training has prepared him for the current position in the community.
Yes, it's true. I have a military background. I attended Nigerian military school in Zaria, after which I was posted to different army formations across the country. And it has shaped my style of leadership so far. There have been incidents of people resisting arrest when they've committed crimes. When police come, they try to resist arrest, or the whole town. I've tried to mob police before I came. So I think when I came on board, I was able to call the chiefs and call some of the people in the town to a meeting, and I made them understand that anybody who has committed an act of criminality against the government, I was going to support the policemen or whoever or whatever security agency that has come to effect that arrest. I was going to support them. So that kind of leadership has shown the people that I wasn't going to condone any kind of criminal activity. So it has reflected in the town so far, and I think I've gotten a positive result from the DPO that they've been able to carry out their duties unlike the way it used to be before. Because I learned the people have had a very bad they've had a very bad experience with the police officers around here, so they are always at loggerheads when police drive into the town to carry out their duties. So me being a military man has helped me a lot. And besides, when I was in the army, I learned the Hausa language, and it has helped me communicate with the people of Kara market, the cattle market, effectively. So I've been able to pass on my ideas, and what I want to pass on to them, I've been able to do that effectively. Being a boundary community is very challenging, and being the gateway to Lagos State itself, there's so many challenges we faced. I have had to write a report on the influx of foreigners into Isheri. I think some of them get turned back when they enter inside Lagos in their lorries, and so they get turned back. So the next port of call is to come to Kara Market. There was a time that when you wake up in the morning, you see trucks of some people from a different section of Nigeria down here. They come in trucks and lorries, but because they are not allowed to enter Lagos in that manner, so they come and stop at Isheri here, being a border town to Lagos, and they find their way into the heart of Lagos or the surrounding neighboring towns and markets around here. So we've had that kind of security challenge, so I've had to write a report, and I think the government has increased their surveillance around this place too. And at the same time, we've had people, we are the border town of Lagos, so when people, policies that are supposed to take effect in Lagos has ripple effect here, because we are between Lagos and Ogun State. Sometimes we even struggle to know which one we belong to. So policies like that affect us, like the ban on Okada riders. It has shifted it had huge number of them to this place. So, and I think the government has to find a way of helping us sort out some of these issues. I would just like to call on the government to please increase the security along this long bridge, because of the construction going on with by Bega along the Lagos-Ibadan expressway here. It has created a kind of gridlock, and it has given room to some unscrupulous members of the society to attack people at times, and it is very bad and very shameful. For me as a traditional ruler, under my axis, I see people complain every day. And at the same time, we need more security checks in Kara market, because that is a hub for most foreign activities besides the cattle market that it's meant to be. But I am sure with improved surveillance and improved security agencies, it will be better for it. But by and large, Isheri has been peaceful so far, and being the cradle of all our worries, it has we have this, like I said, we have this natural security system within our town that our forefathers have embedded in the town. So, and we've been up to the task all along. So that's why we've been peaceful so far. I would like to tell you that the role of traditional rulers should not be underestimated in Nigeria. I would like to use one of the issues I was able to solve before it became a problem. When I became the king, some people, about 40 of them, came to this palace to lay a complaint that there are some people fishing in an unorthodox manner along the Odo-Ogun River towards Ikorodu in Lagos. So I summoned the whole Baales along that line. That's Baale Owode, Baale Ayajewole, Baale My 12. About 5 of them, I summoned them to this palace, and I asked them for what was happening there. They said they were aware of the people fishing there, and they've gone and had an encounter with them so many times, but the people refused to go. The only people who could solve this issue was the marine police along the river. When they came to my palace, I realized that not even one of them speaks our language in this part of Nigeria. They were all from the northern part, from Adamawa, Sokoto. They crossed the entire breadth of the river with specially made nets that even the smallest of fishes would not pass. And this is the same river that runs from Lagos Lagoon, that's right underneath the Third Mainland Bridge, down through this way, down to Abeokuta, into the hinterlands. So, and with their own fishing method, it would have killed off the ecosystem of the remaining river, because fishes were not able to swim down to that place. They were being trapped and just whisked away. So we were able to stem that tide, because it was going to become not just a herdsman we had, it was going to become a fisherman clash, and it would have resulted in something very huge. But we were able to get them to sign an agreement not to come back there again, and we were able to stem that tide. So it did not come to the public glare because I, as a traditional ruler, was able to stem that tide. So our roles in this situation of things should not be underestimated because we are right here in the heart of the town. When we become traditional rulers, we are not given the liberty to live outside our town. So we are the first people they come to report issues and cases like that too. Sherry Olofin is actually the cradle of all our worries. This was the first place our progenitor Olofin Ogunfunminere is settled here before his hunting expedition took him to Ido, where he was able to give birth to the Idejos in Lagos. That's the Onerus, the Elegushis, and Ojoras and others. And it was from this town, other Awori towns were able to spread into other places like Isolo, Igbesa, Ota, another Awori town. So they left from this place. The Sherry was dispersal points for other Awori towns in Lagos and some parts of Ogun. So we have had this ancient ways of communicating within ourselves. We have the chiefs and we have the Ologbonis. So the Ologbonis are actually the people who enforce our laws within the town, as laid down since the 1400s when Insecurity was founded. So we have this specific way of dealing with problems in our town. So we gather information through our people. Once anything happens, the first point of call is to go to the Akpeno. The Akpeno then brings the matter to me. Then we'll call all the old chiefs and we'll decide on which way to go. And if it's an information that we need to forward to the security agencies, we do that as soon as possible so as to foresaw challenges. Because if you look at our own specific area, we have the largest cattle market in the southwest here. So, and that is to tell you that we have a whole lot of people from the northern part of Nigeria and people that speak different languages, and it's a very big commercial business. So we have to be on our toes. We have to try and stem whatever is happening between the Yorubas and the Hausas, any type of issue brewing up. We are able to nip it in the bud before it becomes, or before it escalates into something else.
Away from the Sherry, we moved to Ajegunle, another community in Lagos. Ajegunle, a densely populated community with several reports of security breaches.
In the midnight, they may call me. Not at times, many occasions. Because I don't know off my phone. When there's no light, I put on the generator. I charge it full. So anytime you call me, I got the phone number. Hello, Balogun, we have problems, so please, so we have some thieves, so they were doing this, so we have people and this or that, so and so forth, so. Or some boys are fighting somewhere, so and so, this or that too, or they were robbing so and so, this or that too. I pick up my phone. I will call the DPO there. At times I call the OP Mensa. Sir, ma, we have so problem in so place. We want you to send your people there to restore that normalcy in that place. They listen to us. We've gone on many courses with the Bales, Balogus, Yalodes, DPOs, even Lagos State government put an avenue that from Ministry of Justice, they send some of them to come and lecture us what we can do, what we cannot do. A matter which is criminal is beyond our own, beyond the Bale, Balogun, Yalode. A matter, maybe two people fight, they beat each other, maybe there's some motives or that, we can still talk to them, appeal to two parties, beg two parties, settle the matter for them, and they embrace each other instead of going to the police station. But anything pertaining to robbery, stealing, maiming, something like that, we now call the DPO, please send us to a place, they were doing this, they are doing that. We don't sleep. More especially me, the community I have, I don't think I sleep. Even we have vigilante watching the community. If he has problem, or they arrest somebody, they will wake me up. Baba, we are in your domot. We have so I will get up. I will be there 2, 3, 4 hours. If you think that I can settle, I'll settle and let them go. If I think I cannot settle, I will call the DPO or I will call the area commander or the DPO or the vigilante. I mean, what do you call it? OP Mensa in the barracks. I call their boss. We have so problem, so please. Please help us to tackle the problem.
Lagos Island is also notorious and known for violent clashes between court groups. There have been several cases of robbery and other violent crimes. This group is also one of the local security arrangements in place to check these vices.
Our work is security related. We monitor the environment, and we are also responsible for the protection of the community. When the situation of things got worse and hoodlums went on a rampage in Issaiko and its environs, most of these people we are talking about are from outside this neighborhood. Some are indigents. They smoke weed and use hard drugs openly. They'd fight with machetes, guns, bottles on the streets, and sometimes in front of the palace day and night. This prompted our king, his chiefs and security agencies to form this group. Since then, we've been getting the support of the king to curb activities of these hoodlums. We've also been instructed to hand them over to the police. We are taking legal action and still tracking some criminal cases. The files are here. We have some of those robbing on some parts of the 3rd Mainland Bridge when a car breaks down. Once we get a distress call, we go there and pick them up. Before we embark on any major action, we engage the community through an awareness campaign, appealing to parents and guardians to warn their children. We've been doing this for the past 3 years. This is a voluntary work. We are not getting paid for doing this. We are doing this for our community.
But the voluntary, not the boya owó oṣù.
People from Itafaji have approached us seeking to replicate what we are doing here. They ask for our help. Even those in Okekpopo and so many other neighborhoods have reached out to us asking for our help. We've had to tell them that we do not have the capacity to cover these many communities, that if they are interested in replicating this idea, they must be ready to take charge, and we may now play a supporting role. We can provide guidelines to ensure they get results.
Lekki, an upscale residential and commercial neighborhood in Lagos metropolis, has its inbuilt security arrangement.
We have security patrols. You will see our vans and our pickups there. We have the presence of the police, and we have the civil defense, and we have the man o' war, and sometimes we also use the services of even the OPC. The resident association has been fighting, but our resources are limited because we don't really have so much resources in our disposal. The local government has taken over our revenue point, which is our gate, and they are just giving us pittance, and we've been managing that, and we've been crying out to the government to please come to our aid, because we really have a lot to work on in security aspects, especially as our residents and as our business owners are concerned. Because if we don't have good security here, then everybody living here will be like a hostage. So we really need government intervention and government partnership to help in this estate so that we can have a peace and a quiet and a serene estate that it has always been. This is what we are calling on the government to help us to do. As I was talking about security, that's just our security van. They are just coming back from their regular patrol, and you can see them with the sheriffs. These officers are called the Lekki sheriffs. They are the ones controlling the traffic and controlling the, also working with the police.
These security outfits exist in different neighborhoods, working with the police to identify security challenges and also find workable solutions based on their local knowledge. And that's it on the show. On our next episode, we'll be visiting more communities. Thank you very much for watching. I am Darido. We'll see you next time, and bye for now.